Hello, welcome to Sweet Evil Inc. I'm Epic Odyssey, and I'm going to be testing out my tabletop setup today. Never done this before, so we'll probably watch this video back later to see what if anything needs to be changed. I already know that there is a bit of a glare. I'm not sure how to fix that, but something I will be looking into. Um, and today I'm testing this out with Marvel Champions. This is probably my favorite tabletop game right now. Got it about a year ago. For a while, I only had the core set and a couple of hero packs. So that's pretty much all I played. And then recently, within the last month or two, I just bought up a bunch of the expansions and hero packs that I didn't have, um, and scenario packs. I did not buy everything though. That's way too much money to put down all at once. But I did buy a bunch of stuff, and I haven't played a lot of it yet. The campaign modes in most of the expansion campaigns uh, did not interest me too much. So what I actually have been doing in order to make sure that I've been playing everything as much like playing through everything basically is I have been just randomly selecting a hero and then randomly selecting an aspect and then randomly selecting a scenario. The scenarios I've been doing their basic setup. The first time, and then if I ever came across that villain again, I was randomly doing modular sets. Although I'm trying to do everything once, so I'll take if something I played before, I'll take it out of the pool, so that I can play everything through before I do any full replays. Today I am doing Miles Morales Spider-Man. First is Drang from Brothers of Badoon. Um, I have no experience with Drang, have no idea who he is. I just know he is from the Guardians of the Guardians of the Galaxy campaign expansion. What was that one called? Galaxy's Most Wanted. That's what that one's called. Um, I have heard that a lot of the villains in the Galaxy's Most Wanted were really hard. I have not played any of them yet. This is the first one that has come up in my randomized villains. So we'll see how this goes. So let's get started. All right, so first thing I am going to do, so basically, first thing I'm going to do is just go through everything that we have in front of me. So I'm doing a standard with all of the suggested modular additions. Um, so Drang has a force response where after Drang schemes, I resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. And the main scheme has a force response where after villain step 1 of the villain phase, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. So what is the Badoon ship's charge up ability? Special. Place 1 barrage counter here. Then if there are 4 or more barrage counters here, deal 2 indirect damage to each player and remove all barrage counters from here. Huh. That could be bad, so we'll have to try not to let that happen too much. Well, with this setup, though, I do start with the Milano, which is permanent setup, and the first player controls the Milano, which obviously is making them playing solo. Piloting. Resource. Exhaust the Milano, generate a wild resource for any player. That's going to be nice. And Miles Morales' ability is response after you change to this form, which clearly I can't do this on the first turn. Shuffle 1 Spider-Man card from your discard pile into your deck. What's Spider-Man's ability? Venom Blast. Special. Deal 2 damage to an enemy and then stun that enemy. Spider Camouflage. Special. Give Spider-Man a tough status card, confuse an enemy. These don't say once. I'm assuming these are... I'm going to assume these are once per phase. And then you can only do one of them. Because just dealing 2 damage to an enemy and then stunning that enemy, doing that, so because normally it says only once per phase on it. But it doesn't on his. Okay, well, I guess we'll figure out how that works. So, you always start on your alter ego side, and I get a hand size of 6 to start with, and I start with 9 health points. Drang starts with 13, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is my first time playing with this deck. This is an aggression deck, by the way. I randomly rolled that aspect as well, and I found a deck on Marvel Champions database. And then just I made a few changes because I didn't have all the cards needed, but it's mostly the same as that deck. I believe it was Kennedy Hawk's deck, one of his decks. All right, so what do I got? The hero action, deal 4 damage to an enemy. Alright, so is there anything that's not useful to me? Oh, this starts with 2 threat. Oh, and it goes up 2 per player. Oh, that's gonna... That's gonna be interesting. I already have some attack events, so I don't think I need plan of attacks. Let's get rid of that for right now. Alright, so double life. Action, change your form. If you paid for this card using a physical resource, ready your identity. That's not useful in the first turn. I think I might keep everything else. I don't know if the Thwarden... Yeah, swinging's not very useful in my first turn either. So let's draw 3 more. Okay, and time to start. So what do we got? Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is switch over to Spider-Man because not very useful as Miles Morales right now. Might be useful to do the deal 2 damage to an enemy and then stun that enemy. Because then I can do... Alright, Relentless Assault is not useful to me right now. Because there's no minions out. Web Shot should be useful. Okay, so I have... Okay, so I think I get it now. So Spider-Man has cards that allow me to use these abilities. Okay. Because I have Web Shot in my hand, which says deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this using a energy resource, resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability. Okay. Okay, so those abilities happen when... Okay, I get it. We'll do that then. Okay, so let's use Genius to pay for Web Shot. Oh, wait, no, let's not do that. Because I want to do it with a I want to do that with this one. Okay, let's do this. I might end up wasting a resource, but I want to be able to pay for Web Shot with a energy resource. So we're gonna use Relentless Assault, which is not useful to me right now because there's no minions out, and the Milano to pay for Web Shot. So that deals 4 damage to an enemy. And then I can use the Venom Blast ability. So that's actually going to be 6 damage. So 1, 2, 3. All right, I think I'm going to try to stop counting out loud on stream. Sorry. And also stuns the enemy. So we're going to put that on Drang right now. All right, so that is done. I can play 2 more of my cards. Okay, so Arachnobatics should be a good card to play right now because okay, so surprise attack's not useful to me because I've already changed form and didn't use it. Probably should have, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna use it to pay for press the advantage actually, because now the enemy is stunned, so I can use surprise attack to play press the advantage, which deals 2 damage to an enemy, and if that enemy is stunned or confused, draw 1 card. So we're gonna do brings Drang down to 5 health, and then draw a card. Of course I draw strength. This is okay. I'm gonna waste a resource because I have to use a double resource to pay for Arachnobatics. I was hoping to draw something that wouldn't have a double resource, but that's fine. So we're gonna use Genius to pay for Arachnobatics, which is deal 2 damage to an enemy. If that enemy has a stun status card, deal 3 additional damage to it. If that enemy has a confused status card, deal 3 additional damage to it. I feel like they did not need to have that sentence there twice. They could have had stun or confuse and made that a lot shorter. Whatever. That actually, I think, takes out the first phase of Drang. That was fast. That's my first turn. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, well, I guess we'll do it. Don't see any reason not to. So that brings Drang down to 0 in my first turn. Okay. I'm going to hold on to strength. Well, first of all, let's do this. Goodbye, first phase of Drang. When revealed, if Drang's Spear is in play, give Drang 1 face-down boost card. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Drang's Spear. Reveal it and shuffle the encounter deck. And then force response is still the same as before. Alright, let's find Drang's Spear. It's probably an attachment, so it's going to be... So the name's going to be along the side. There it is. I'm going to try to remember to shuffle on stream. Like with my hands actually on the camera. Okay, so Drang's Spear. Attached to Drang, Drang gains Stalwart. He cannot be stunned or confused. Wait, does he... He cannot be stunned or confused. But he already is. So I believe he... I'm going to say he keeps that stunned. I'm not going to take time on stream to look things up, so if I do something wrong, then I'll just know better for next time. I have to spend a mental and... Ooh, good thing I kept strength, because I have the 2 physical, I just need to draw into a mental. So I can discard this. And he gets +1 attack, which... His attack is already a 3, so that's not fun. So we're going to do that. Alright, so now I have to draw up to my hand size of 5. 1. Oh, well, there's some allies. And another Relentless Assault, which... Okay. And then... oh, wait. You know, I just forgot to... Let me just do this real quick. Let's thwart. Get these off of here. Okay. And now hand size of 5. And unexhaust. Alright, so first, I don't know why I put these away because I was just putting them right back. Oh, right. uh, Drang should be at 14 hit points right now, not 0. There we go. Everything's fixed. Okay. So, after resolving step 1 of the villain's phase, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. So, 1 counter. Place 1 barrage counter here. Okay. Drang would attack, but instead we're gonna discard stunned, and then I draw an encounter card. Ooh. Oppressive Armada. So this has +1 encounter card, which doesn't go into effect until next turn, and then it's 1 with a hinder of 3 per player, so 4. So we have a that didn't work. Side scheme. A side scheme that has a first player action which says exhaust a Milano and remove 3 threat from the scheme, which my main scheme already has that ability. So whatever. Okay, that is the villain's turn. Back to my turn. I don't have a mental resource, so I'm gonna have to use the Milano for that. So we're gonna. I need to get rid of this because the fact that he cannot be stunned or confused is a problem, especially with Miles Morales. I don't think I have anything that actually does take advantage. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that takes advantage of my ability right now, but I still want to get rid of it. I don't want him to have +1 attack either. So we're going to use the Milano and Strength to discard this. That needs to go away. Okay. Okay, so I have a web shooter in hand, which has 3 which enters play with 3 counters on it. And then exhaust web shooter and remove one web counter from it and generate a wild resource. So if and there's still no minions out, so Relentless Assault is useless. So if I use Relentless Assault, I can pay for the web shooter. And then, who do I want? Hulk or Throg? Throg's ability is not super useful right now. Hulk could be a problem if the wrong card comes up. So do I want to play it safe or do I want to have fun with Hulk? Let's have fun with Hulk. So we're going to use one of these counters and use Throg to pay for Hulk. And then Hulk's going to attack because he can. So Hulk attacks, does 3 damage. That brings Drang down to 11. And then discard. So after Hulk attacks, discard the top card. If that card's printed resource has... I have an energy resource, so I deal 1 damage to each character. I have seen all of my double resource cards, which didn't want to happen that early, but whatever. So I deal 1 damage to each character with Hulk. So Dragon goes down to 10. I go down to 8. Alright, and I'm going to thwart with Spider-Man. We're going to try to deal with that. Alright, and no more cards. That's the end of my turn, so draw back up to my hand size of 5. Unexhaust everything. Oh, right. Hulk should have a consequential damage on him. Okay, so Drang's turn. So he is going to put 2 on the main scheme. And then, after resolving step 1 in the villain phase, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. So, 1 there. And now he is going to attack. I am going to defend with Hulk. And he is going to attack for 3 plus put Badoon Grunt into play and engage with you. Great. And then force response after Badoon Grunt engages you. If there are no other minions engaged with you, deal yourself 1 face-down encounter card. Great. Okay, so he attacked for 3. So that means Hulk is still alive. Okay. And then the Badoon Grunt's going to attack because he went into play before his attack phase. I'm just gonna take that one. I'm not gonna defend. So we're gonna bring myself down to 6, and then deal the encounter card for the encounter phase, and let's see what happens. Badoon's Sentry. Well, that has Retaliate 1 and Pole Breach. Peril. While you are resolving this card, other players cannot help you. Okay. When revealed, choose 1. Exhaust the Milano, spend 2 mental resource, or deal 3 damage to the first player. I don't have 3 mental resource, so 2 mental resource, so I can't do that. Wait, but I can. Because I can use the web shot and my web shooter to do that if I wanted to. I don't really want to exhaust the Milano because I was kind of hoping to use the Milano's ability to remove 3 threat. And I don't want to take 3 damage either. Ugh, this is difficult. Web shooters would have been nice to have. Okay. I think... Hmm. kind of want to just take the 3 damage. And what's my heal? My heal is 4. His scheme is 2. You could easily bring that to 8 in one turn. If the right encounter cards come up. I do not know what kind of encounter cards in this deck. I've never played it before. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna take the 3 damage and risk it, because this is the last card, so I have my turn. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to take the 3 damage and risk that. Okay. So, my turn. Hulk is still there, which is surprising. I definitely want to end this turn in alter ego form, but what can I do before I do that? First, exhaust the Milano and remove 3 threat from here. Oh, I just realized something. I was supposed to take an extra card because I had 2 cards because of this guy, not because of that. So hang on, let's rethink this then. Oh, jeez. That is such a risk. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to do it. Because if I'm taking an extra encounter card. So that's too much of a risk. I need as much health as I can't be at 3 health for an extra encounter card. So that sucks, but let's do that. That should make my turn easier to make decisions for. Alright, extra encounter card. Great. After a Badoon Engineer engages you or activates against you, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. Okay, so Badoon ship is very close to doing damage to me. Alright. My turn. Actually, the Badoon ship will do damage to me on the next villain phase. Because... Alright, so now it is my turn. I definitely want to use Power Within, which is after your hero uses a basic power, discard Power Within and resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability. So I definitely want to do that. I would love to get combat training out, but I do not think I can pull that off this turn and still do everything I want to do. Surprise attack's not useful because I am already in Spider-Man, so if I change forms, I will not be in hero form anymore. So... I already did this. Okay. So let's use surprise attack to pay for Power Within, but first I have to do something with him. I want to thwart, but having 3 minions out is not good. So we are going to attack the Badoon Grunt. Doing 2 damage to him. And then use surprise attack to play Venom. So sorry, surprise attack to play Venom Blast, which allows me to resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability. So that's doing 2 damage and stunning. I'm going to do that to Drang. As much as I want to get one of these minions out of here, stunning Drang is more useful. Also, 2 damage is not going to kill either of these, and I do not think stunning them is useful. So, what am I doing? Oh, stun. Sorry, my brain decided to not pay attention there. Okay, so Drang is down to 8. Now, what can I... Now, the only thing I can really do with what I have left is put... Also, Power Within was an upgrade. So, basically to say I played Power Within... I played it as if it was an event, but just pretend I played it like an upgrade. I played it first, and then discarded it in order to use it when... That's a weird... That could have just been an event card. Alright, then we're going to use combat training to play... I am so bad at... Jarnbjorn. Jarnbjorn. I'm so bad at pronouncing that. Okay, that is my turn. I'm gonna do... I think I have 6 health. I think I'm going to... He's stunned, not confused. So he'll still be able to scheme if I change the alter ego. And that's... The Badoon ship's gonna go off anyway. He can't attack. If the Badoon ship goes off, I'm gonna take 2, 3, 4. That's indirect damage, so I can just kill Hulk with it, but I really don't want to. Yeah, if I switch to alter ego though, he will definitely move the main scheme on. I don't think I want to do that right now. So yeah, let's stay here. 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. So everything on exhausts. Web shooters almost done. Okay. So first 2 on the main scheme. 3. And I'm going to put 1 counter here, but then it's going to go off, so I will take 2 indirect damage. This is such a risk, but I'm going to do it. And then these guys are both going to attack. Well, this went off, so... Okay, so then he's going to attack, but he's actually not because he's stunned. So then these guys attack. So that's 1 each. I'm not defending. When Badoon Engineer activates against me, though, the charge up ability goes off. So that happens. And then 1, 2. Okay. So I get 2 of these. Let's see if I can survive this. Alright. Bombardment. Force response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. And this has the same exhaust the Milano, blah blah blah. Okay, so that's side scheme with 3 per player. And this one. Badoon Grunt. After Badoon Grunt engages with you, if there are no other minions engaged with you, deal yourself 1 face down encounter card. I have other minions, so I don't do that. Okay. I am at 2 health. It is my turn. This playing field is not looking good. What do I got? Alright, so I have Hall of Heroes, which after you defeat a minion, place 1 glory counter here, exhaust Hall of Heroes, and remove 3 glory encounters, draw 3 cards. That could be nice. Surprise attack's not useful right now. Remove 4 threat from a scheme if you pay for this card using a mental resource. Resolve Spider-Man's spider camouflage ability. That could be nice. I have Enhanced Physique, exhaust Enhanced Physique, and remove 1 physical counter from it. Generate a physical resource. I don't think that's worth it right now. I want to do Swinging In. Definitely want to do Swinging In. I definitely want to do Hall of Heroes. I would love to... Let's see. Angela. After Angela enters play under your control, search the top 10 cards of your encounter deck for a minion and put it into play and engage with you. Shuffle the encounter deck. If a minion was not put into play this way, discard Angela. I don't want to do that. Okay. So Angela will be my mental resource for Swinging In. And surprise attack. Let's do that. Let's do... I want to do Swing It In, and I also want to do Hall of Heroes. Let's do Hall of Heroes first. So I'm going to pay for Hall of Heroes with my Enhanced Physique and with my web counters, which... Oh, oops. I'm pretty sure I've used... Yeah, I've used all 3 of these. I just forgot to take the counter off for the second one. So I'm just using the 3rd one of that now to get out Hall of Heroes. I am going to use these 2 cards to do Swing In, which remove 4 threat from a scheme, and if you pay for this card using a mental resource, which I did because Angela's a mental resource, then resolve Spider-Man's spider camouflage ability. So that takes care of that. Paid for that. And then spider camouflage ability gives Spider-Man a tough status card. Nice. Oh, I'm gonna put it there. And confuse an enemy. I am confusing Drang, of course. Yay. Okay. What can I do with what I have on the... That goes away. What can I do with what I have? Probably gonna attack with Hulk. That'll kill him, so even if I draw the card that discards him, then doesn't matter. So attack. Top card is the mental resource. So he's getting discarded anyway because he took the last damage he needed. So he's doing 3 damage. I'm attacking the Badoon Engineer. So that's 3 to 3. So goodbye, Badoon Engineer. And then after you defeat a minion, place 1 glory counter here. Okay. What else do I got? I don't have any cards, so I can't I can't use this ability. I'm definitely going to be using... Oh, this goes away. Um, I think I want to... I think I'm going to thwart with... No, I'm going to attack with Spider-Man because I can get rid of this Badoon Grunt. That needs to go away. Um, I attacked with him. Okay, so I have two choices. I can use the Milano uh to thwart, which I think that's my best bet. I could use the Milano to thwart, or I can use the Milano as a physical resource to do 2 damage. Don't think I want to do that. So yeah, we're gonna use the Milano to thwart, and it's a waste of one, but I think I'm going to thwart this one so I can only draw 1 encounter card. The multiple encounter cards is killing me right now. Okay. Alright, so I think that is everything. Oh, I did defeat another one, so... And this does not say a once per phase or once per turn or anything. So, there. So I have 2 glory encounters already on Hall of PRs. Nice. Alright, so... Oh, and I'm going to flip to Miles Morales. Okay, I think that is my best option right now. So I could get really unlucky and this could go to the next phase, but let's hope it doesn't. Okay, so draw 6 cards. Okay. All right. First, that happens. This is at 5 now out of 8. And Drang would scheme, but instead he's confused, so nope. These piles don't want to stay. All right. Badoon Sentry schemes for 1. So now there's 6 out of 8 on there. Now let's hope this doesn't say the villain schemes, because that would be bad. Oh, right, and there should be 1 more counter there. Drang did not scheme, so his force response doesn't happen. All right, encounter card. Shadows of the Past. Great. So this reveals my nemesis. Let's see who... I'd actually have not actually... Oh, of course it's Prowler. I should have guessed that one. Okay, so Prowler goes into play. He has Stalwart as well, which means he can't be stunned or confused. Of course he does against Miles Morales. That's... Why wouldn't he? And his side scheme goes into play with 4 on it. And then these get shuffled into his deck. So... I'm not the best at shuffling sleeved cards, but working on it. I don't usually shuffle in this way. I usually do riffle shuffle in. Alright, I think that is good there. Discard that. And now I have Prowler to deal with. Wonderful. Oh, right, these should be not exhausted. Okay. Okay, so... Oh, I just realized I'm gonna actually... Okay, so I know... I'm gonna actually do this real quick. I forgot about my response after I changed to this form. So I'm gonna do this real quick. And actually, I'm thinking I'll have to redraw my hand then. I didn't actually really look at my hand. I kind of glanced at it and saw I had a um minion and I'm not minion, sorry, ally, and that was it. All right, so I get to add a Spider-Man card back into my deck, shuffle it back into my deck. What do I got? I have double life. That could be, huh. I'm thinking I might do that and maybe I'll get lucky and draw it because I'm about to change back, and if I could change back and ready my identity, that would be really nice. So I'm thinking I might do that and just see if I get lucky. My other options, I have my, oh, right. When revealed, if you are in alter ego form, place one acceleration token here. Place one acceleration token here. Okay. Fun. So I just saw that when revealed ability. Another thing that would be useful to have would be something that can thwart. That might. Oh, right. I can't use that. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. This is probably what I would have done without the knowledge that my nemesis was coming out. So we're not going to put a thwart card in there just so that I can, just because of that. All right, let's shuffle and then redraw my hand. I have a card that's upside down. Let's fix that. Thank you. That card is also upside down. Wow, a lot of my cards are upside down. Don't know how that happened. Fix it later. All right, I think that is it. Now let's draw my hand. And I got it. I got double life. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, with a very small deck, that was a good bet. All right, so we are going to, first we're going to heal. That brings us up to 6. Um what else do I have in my hand? Anything useful? Double life I definitely want to try and use. So Jefferson Davis. Exhaust Jefferson Davis. Remove 1 threat from the scheme with the least threat. Huh. And press the advantage, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If that enemy is stunned or confused, draw 1 card. That could be useful, but I don't think I have a way to stun or confuse him. My other web shooter. Honestly, plan of attack might not be a bad idea, so that I can try to get an attack event, because if I can get an attack event, I might be able to get rid of at least one of these minions. Alright, let's do plan of attack while I am in alter ego, which allows me to search the top 5 cards of my deck and for an attack event. So sorry, top 7. Wow, I did not even read the number 5 is even on that card. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. All right, so let's see what I got. So I need an attack event. So that gives me, oh, that actually is perfect. Relentless Assault is finally useful. So my options are either Relentless Assault or Web Shot. I can definitely pay for Relentless Assault with, but I wouldn't need it because I'd be doing 5 damage, so overkill doesn't matter anyway. Web Shot only does 4 damage, but it does cost Venom Blast to go off, which is not useful. So let's do, and they're cost the same amount. Yeah, let's do Relentless Assault. And then shuffle my 8 cards. Plan of attack is used. Replaced by Relentless Assault. Okay. I think I'm at the point where I need to switch up. Um, what do I want to use to pay for my double life? Let's use enhance. Let's use enhanced physique to pay for double life while I switch up. And oh, this is not a okay. So double life's not a react. So I'm going to use. So basically, I'm just going to use this to change my form. And I'm paying for it with a physical resource. Then that allows me to ready my identity. Perfect. Geez. Okay. I think I want to get the web shooters out and then play Relentless Assault. I think that is my best bet. So let's do that. We are going to... I just realized Prowler went into effect when I was in alter ego form, which means he has a stuffed... He has a stuffed? Wow, he has a tough status card on him. Should have actually read him. Probably that would have probably been a good idea. Okay. Which means I am going to use Relentless Assault against the Badoon Sentry. Alright, let's do this. So we're going to use Jefferson Davis to pay for my web shooters, which gets 3 counters on it. 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to use Press the Advantage and the web shooter to pay for Relentless Assault, which does 5 damage to a minion. That's definitely going to be the Badoon Sentry. Overkill does not matter because he has 5 health. And Retaliate doesn't matter because I'm killing him in 1 shot. And I have killed a minion, so I get another counter on my Hall of Heroes. And I'm actually going to use the Hall of Heroes. So we're going to exhaust Hall of Heroes and remove 3 counters, 3 glory counters, so I'm meant to draw 3 cards. And let's see what I get. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have Plan of Attack. I don't think is useful right now. I have Wasp. Wasp gets +1 hit point for each Pim counter on her. Interrupt. When Wasp enters play, place 1 Pim counter on her. For each energy resource you overpaid for Wasp's cost. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Then Genki Lee, I think that's how his name is pronounced. I might want to look that up. Exhaust to draw 1 card. If you are in hero form, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. Don't know how useful that is. Let's not do that. And then I have Plan of Attack, which I do not like. Okay, we're going to exhaust the Milano and remove 3 from here. don't know. How many cards do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm definitely getting an extra encounter card on the villain phase. I don't like my options. Okay, we're gonna draw the rest of my deck anyway at the end of my turn, so let's do Plan of Attack and see if I can actually make that work. So, 4 cards. And are any of them attack events? Yes, I got 1 attack event, so I'll put that in my hand. That's Web Shot. And then shuffle 4 cards. Actually, it's not, I don't even need to because I'm drawing them all at the end of my turn anyway. Alright, so Plan of Attack was used. Alright, so I think I want to play Web Shot then. So I can use these 2 cards to deal 4 damage to an enemy if you pay for this using a physical, sorry, not physical, pay for this using a energy resource, resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability. I could. I'm thinking I need to waste the stun on the Venom Blast ability and just use all of this damage to kill Prowler and get him out of here. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to spend these 2. Genki is a wild resource, so he counts as my energy. To play Web Shot to do 4 damage to Prowler, and then Venom Blast does 2 more damage to Prowler. And oh wait, nope, sorry. We are going to first. I have to get the tough off of him. Think, think, think. I was hoping to use Spider-Man to thwart, but I might have to use him to attack and just ping the tough off of Prowler. I think that's my best option, which sucks. But it is what it is. That means 4 is going to get added to this. I mean, that was going to happen at the beginning of the turn anyway. But I was hoping to thwart at least something. I think this is what it is. I have to get rid of Prowler. Alright, so use him, waste his attack to get this tough off, and then do Web Shot, which does 6 damage with the 4 damage plus the 2 from Venom Blast, which kills Prowler. And I'm going to assume when the Hall of Heroes is exhausted. Well, it's. Yeah, I'm going to assume when the Hall of Heroes is exhausted, I don't add any glory encounters for defeated minions, which is annoying, but whatever. Might want to look that up later, but for now I'm going to play it that way. Alright, I think I did the best I could with this turn. Okay. Alright. So, draw my hand. Gonna need to draw 1 more, so encounter card. Let's shuffle. At least I cleared out all the minions. Although, now that I said that, I'm probably going to get a minion during the villain phase. Great, because I do have 2 encounter cards. So, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, I don't draw anything that causes him to scheme. And 1 more card. Okay. Alright. Alright, so everything gets unexhausted. Let's see. So first threat phase. So I'll get 2 +1 +1. So that brings this to 7 out of 8. So hopefully he doesn't scheme, like I just said. That's 3 counters on the Badoon ship. Not 4 yet, so we're good there. He's going to attack. I'm not defending because I have a tough status card. So that is 3 plus 2, which is 5 damage against my tough status card. Goodbye, tough. And then draw a second encounter card. What do I got? Badoon Lieutenant. Oh, he has patrol. While those minions engage with you, you cannot thwart the main scheme. Yeah, that's what I thought that said. At least the Milano ship does not count as thwarted. He has 6 health. That's not going to be fun. And Rogue Vessel. Surge. Great. Alright. And this is an environment. Forced Interrupt. When the villain phase ends, deal 1 damage to each player. First player action. Exhaust the Milano and spend 2 resources on any type to discard this card. I'm going to put that up there, I guess. Well, let's move this over and put this next to the other environment. There. Great, now I have 2 ships out there, and I just have my Milano. Alright, and that was Surge, so I have another encounter card, so what do I got? Badoon Sentry! I already had one of these. He has Retaliate, and he has 5 health. The Bandit Badoon modular encounter set is not fun. At least none of these guys go off when they get put into play, so my turn. Okay. So I have a double life in my hand. So I'm thinking... Alright, when the villain phase ends, deal 1 damage to each player. So I'm at 5 now. I have a double life, so that could be really useful. And Web Shooter would also be useful to play. I have Spider Girl in my hand, which after you play Spider Girl from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. That will be useful. Let's do that. Defense mechanism. After your heroes is a basic power, discard defense mechanism and resolve Spider-Man's spider camouflage ability. Also useful, but don't know if I'm gonna end up playing that. And then press the advantage again, so deal 2 damage to an enemy if that enemy is stunned, draw 1 card. Okay, so I think I'm going to actually do something weird and use the my web shooters I already have in play to get this other web shooter out and put 3 counters on it. And then I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to change to Alter Ego. Can't use the ability because I don't have a discard power at the moment. But then I'm going to heal for 4. That brings me back up to my max of 9. And then I'm going to use my second... I have too much stuff here. Let's put this up here, move this over. Alright, we're going to use my second web shooter to pay for double life, which allows me to change my form. And if I paid with a physical resource, which I just paid with a wild, I can ready my identity. So I got the heal, and now my identity is back to Spider-Man and readied. Awesome. Okay. I am thinking that I really wish I could thwart for 4 right now, and I cannot. Alright, Alright, I'm gonna use the Milano to take 3 off of the main scheme. Because I can. I could use this resource, that'd be really nice, but I do not think I can do that right now. I really wish I had an ally in hand right now who had 2 thwart. Unfortunately, Spider-Girl only has 1. Ugh. Okay. Um... I think my options are to either play Spider-Girl or play defense mechanism. I do not think press the advantage is useful to me right this second. I think Spider-Girl is more useful than these, so let's do that. Let's put Spider-Girl into play. And then I get to stun and confuse a minion. Which one is the best one to stun and confuse? Probably the Badoon Lieutenant. Because he does more. Yeah, let's stun and confuse the Badoon Lieutenant because his attack is higher than... His attack and his scheme is higher than Badoon Sentry's. Just do that. Okay. I'm gonna thwart with Spider-Man. I can't thwart the main scheme right now, so I have a feeling the main scheme's gonna go. I can't really do anything about that. Yeah, because I'm about to add... Because right now it's at 4, I'm about to add 4. Yeah, so the main scheme's gonna go unless I thwart. But I can't thwart the main scheme. So, nothing I can do about it. So yeah, I'm about to go to the next one on the main scheme, so hopefully that's not gonna be too bad. Let's use Spider-Girl too, because the Doom Lieutenant needs to go. So let's use Spider-Girl to attack him. Do that. I got way too many things on top of this Badoon Lieutenant's card. Alright, and a consequential damage to Spider-Girl. And I have no more cards. So that is my turn. Okay. So, draw. Okay, and unexhaust everything. This hasn't really been useful to me. Because I haven't really been attacking with Spider-Man much. But we'll see if that becomes useful later. Okay, villain's phase. I'm about to lose terrestrial invasion. Nothing I can do about it. So let's do it. Alright, so 2 plus 2, 4. Goodbye. And I have not I'm gonna say that that getting rid of this happens during phase 1 because that's when it went on. So I haven't completely resolved phase 1 yet. So this is gone. When revealed, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. Well, that happens anyway. So charge up ability goes off, deals 2 indirect damage to each player, and remove all barrage counters from here. So I don't even... Yeah, go in there, please. Thank you. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 damage because I want to hold on to Spider-Girl to block. If I if I if I divvy up the indirect damage, then that will not work, unfortunately. All right, and turn over. So protect the planet. Force response after resolving step one of, so it still happens. So I figured, but just in case. And then first player action, exhaust the Milano. Choose to either remove 3 threat from this scheme or deal 3 damage to a minion. Huh. And this starts with 4 on it, and it only has 8. Yeah, this is hard. Okay. Alright, so that was all Fate, the step 1, and I did the Badoon ship. Drang is going to attack. I'm going to defend with Spider Girl. And his attack is going to be 3 plus 1, so that's 4, so it's goodbye, Spider Girl. But Badoon Lieutenant is stunned, so instead of attack, I'm going to get rid of the stunned card. And the Badoon Sentry attacks me for 1. Okay. I take 1 encounter card. Keeping secrets. Oh, this is my obligation. Great. So you may flip to alter ego form, choose exhaust Miles Morales, and remove keeping secrets from the game, or discard. If neither was discarded this way, this card gains oh, okay. So I can either search, because I don't have either Genki Lee or Jefferson Day. I don't have either of those guys in play. So I either gain Surge or I have to exhaust Miles Morales. Do I have... Well, if I'm in alter ego mode to start my turn, I can just flip back up to Spider-Man. Also, this is a response after you change this form. So I think I still get to do this response even if it's happening with the obligation. Okay, let's do it. And then get the obligation out of there. I do not want to surge. And do I have something useful to put back into... Let's do double life. Double life has been really useful for me. Being able to ready is useful. Alright, so I'm in a bad spot. I could easily lose this on the next villain phase. Alright. End of villain phase, I take 1 damage from the rogue vessel. Okay, so I'm currently Miles Morales. I am thinking of doing plan of attack and trying to get some sort of damage into my hand. Alright, let's play plan of attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what options do I have? This is an attack event, and this is an attack event. None of these are, so shuffle those back in once I choose. So Arachnobatics deal 2 damage to an enemy if that enemy has a stun status, deal 3 additional damage, or if it has confused status, deal 3 additional damage. I could take out the Badoon Lieutenant with that, because he has a confused status. And then I have Web Shot. Deal 4 damage to an enemy if you pay for this card using a energy resource, then resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability, which would also be useful because I have the web shooters, so I can pay for it with that. I'm thinking arachnobatics would be better to get the Badoon Lieutenant out, though. Hmm. Okay, so let's take. Yeah, we're gonna take because I we're gonna take the arachnobatics. Oh, and this does not go in this card. This all gets shuffled back into the deck. And plan of attack gets discarded. Okay. Um. So I need to be in hero form. Exhausted, unfortunately. I'm gonna use the Milano to take 3 off of that. I'm gonna use an enhanced physique to pay for arachnobatics to do 5 damage to the Badoon Lieutenant. So that will get rid of him. So patrol is no longer in effect. It also puts a counter on my Hall of Heroes. What do I got left? Hmm. Don't think you're useful. Except when combined with this guy. But it's too expensive for that right now. I think I might try to get Wasp out. Because I can use my web shooters as the energy resource to give Wasp 2 health. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to use both web shooters. That one gets discarded because that's all the counters. To bring out Wasp with 2 counters on her. Could bring out Angela, but that's I could try. That could be bad though. Might be a good risk. Let's try it. All right. Let's put out Angela. And then 1, 2, 3, 10. Oh, I'm gonna have to reshuffle that anyway, so keep that close. All right. Do I have any minions? I have 2 minions in this, and they're both the same thing, so it doesn't matter which one I put out. So Badoon Assassin. After Badoon Assassin engages your hero, it attacks you for +2. So it would attack me for 3, which not ideal. I think I just gotta take it. Don't think I have a choice. This shouldn't be here. Don't know why it's there. So that brings me down to 2 health, which that could be bad. And I have Enhanced Physique in my hand, which I can't play. Okay, so what am I gonna do with these 2? I can attack with both of them and get rid of the Badoon Sentry. That would kill Wasp. Actually, no. If I attack with Angela first, then they both would survive. Because Retaliate wouldn't go off for Wasp. Okay, let's do that. So Angela attacks, gets consequential damage plus the 1 Retaliate, so that's 2. So she still has 1 health. And the Badoon Sentry attacks and takes 1 off of Wasp for the consequential damage, but he dies. Not why did I say Badoon Sentry attack? Sorry, Wasp attacks Badoon Sentry. That's what I meant to say. He dies, but the Retaliate does not go off because he died. So good. Oh, wait. No, I can't. That's when the hero attacks, not when a minion attacks. Not helpful. Okay, and then I get 1 more glory counter on here for defeating a minion. Unfortunately, the Badoon Assassin stays out. Which is fine. Can deal with him. Okay. So, great. I am at 2 health in hero form. Not ideal. Alright, we're gonna do 1, 2. Alright, draw back up and unexhaust everybody. Alright, so Drang is going to attack. Wait, first, obviously, first I have to do the threat phase. Almost forgot about that, which is unfortunately still 4. And then the Badoon ship activates. If I can avoid... You know, I just realized, I think I wanted to discard that at the end of my turn. So yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'm really trying to figure out a way for I'm going to take a damage at the end of the turn, so I have to make sure I don't go down to 1 during this turn. So this happened, that already happened. Drang attacks. I'm going to defend with Angela. I think... I need to make sure not to be exhausted. Yeah, that's what I have to do. Okay, so I'm going to defend with Angela for Drang. If this activation is an attack, this card gets +2 boost icons for this activation, which is fine because that's a 5 against Angela. Angela takes it all, and there's no overkill. Goodbye, Angela. Alright, so now the Badoon Assassin is attacking for 1. I really don't want to be exhausted. But Wasp has 3 attack. But I think... Yeah, I think I have to defend with Wasp. And goodbye, Wasp. Okay. Now my 1 encounter card, which is... Oh, that's not good. Peril. When revealed, choose 1. Exhaust the Milano. Spend 2 physical resources or stun the first player. I could spend 2 physical resources. I don't want to, but I can. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's the best thing I can do. Okay. And my turn at the end, and I did... That guy is still in a play, which I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get rid of it. So now I'm down to 1 health. I need to heal. My turn. Okay. I have double life in my hand. And I have Throg in my hand. I think I can get them both. I think I can get them both out. And Throg will get a tough status card because there's a minion out, which is nice. So let's do this. Okay. So we are going to flip to Alter Ego and use the response, which means I can shuffle a Spider-Man card back into the deck. My choices are Web Shooters, Arachnobatics, Defense Mechanism, and that's it. Alright, the Web Shooters are so useful. Web Shooters. We're gonna do that. I do not want to go through the rest of the deck with... Because I already have both of my Web Shooters out, because one of them's on the table and one was in the discard, and the deck's still pretty full. So having the other one back in the deck will be good. Oh. Okay. Alright, so I did that. I am going to heal for 4, so that brings me back up to 5. And then I'm going to play double life, and I'm going to play for it paying with a physical resource. So I'm going to change form and ready because I paid with a physical resource. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and then I want to put Throg out. So use the last counter on my Web Shooter that I have in play, and Genki to put Throg out. There's a minion, so Throg gets a tough status card. Alright. I am definitely attacking that minion. Should I attack with Throg or with myself? Probably Throg. Yeah, because I want to thwart with myself so I can finally get rid of Track and Prey. Alright, so we're going to attack with Throg. Throg gets a consequential damage, which unfortunately does ping the tough status card off. But it is what it is, because I need to get rid of this Badoon minion. This Badoon assassin minion guy. Okay, and that also adds a third counter to the Hall of Heroes. Rather than add it though, I'm just going to exhaust it, remove the counters, and draw 3 cards. Alright, what do I got? Jefferson Davis. feel like I should have him out. That would have been super useful to have him out. Web shot though. If I can. Oh, this would be a great time to play web shot. Because I can use the. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do web shot because I need to start really doing damage to him. So first thing I'm gonna do is thwart with Spider-Man. I need to get this out of here. It's so dangerous. Finally gone. Okay. Attacking with Spider-Man wouldn't have. Wait, what if? Oh wait, you know what? Hang on a second. He only has 8 health left. Put all this back. I gotta rethink this. Because I might be able to. If I let's use web shot real quick and see what happens. Because I think if I'm calculating this right, I can do 8 damage to him right now and just kill him. So let's do it. Okay. So pay with these two. I am paying with an energy resource because Power Within has that to do web shot. That's 4 damage. So only enemy I have is Drang. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That brings him down to 4. And then I'm going to resolve Venom Blast, so that will stun him and do 2 damage to him. So that brings him down to 2. And he's stunned. And now I just attack with Spider-Man, doing 2 attack, and yeah. Down to 0. Yes! 1! Yay! Real quick, let's just exhaust the Milano and take 3 off the main scheme just for the hell of it. Okay. Well, that was the game. That was oh wow, that was like I did a lot of damage on my first turn because I got really lucky with my open and draw. But then it got really difficult when the minions started coming out and I just had and a lot of the minions had so much health. So yeah, this was definitely a difficult one and kept me on my toes, but I made it. I got it done. So that was it. Thank you for joining me. I really enjoyed doing that. Definitely going to be doing more tabletop streams in the future. I'll be looking at the setup, seeing if there's anything I need to adjust. But yeah, that's it. Thank you. Goodbye.